My name is Dr. Alan Christianson. I'm a naturopathic medical doctor with a primary focus on treating thyroid disease. One of the more common symptoms of that is hair thinning and hair loss. And over the years I've learned that's probably one of the most compelling medical symptoms that I've seen that causes people to really seek out treatment, try to improve their health, and really become motivated to take action. People can have high blood pressure or chronic pain that they ignore and live with for years and do nothing about, but when hair starts thinning, that is a strong attention getter. And it's a big reflection of the overall health of the body as well. We have many chemical pathways that are involved with regenerating ourselves. Our bodies, I think of them more like rivers than static entities. All parts of us are always breaking down and repairing. And our health is not so much what our genes are or things that we do, it's more so how well we repair. The breakdown is inevitable. The breakdown is good. We wear out, and cells all divide a certain number of times and then they quit. So we have to let the old cells go away and break down, but we have to have the repair keep up with that. And that's what being healthy is all about, is when those two are at good equilibrium. The aging process is primarily that rate of breakdown not changing, not getting faster, but overtaking that rate of repair. So when we no longer regenerate, then we degenerate. Then we have breakdown of our connective tissues. And our body has a couple of main compartments of connective tissues. We have the proteins that we use for carrying on chemical reactions. Those are non-negotiable. We can't really skimp on those. They're needed for our liver working, for forming hormones, for our immune system. Then we have, next in hierarchy, is the proteins that construct our organs, the things that actually make up our heart, liver, our kidneys, and our spleen. Past that, in terms of priorities for our bodies, we have our skeletal muscle mass. And the final level of proteins are the connective tissues, the hair, skin, and nails. They are important and they serve purposes, but when we're degenerating, when we're breaking our bodies down, those particular proteins are the first ones that our body will borrow from when we're lacking in key proteins to maintain function elsewhere. So when we're degenerating and breaking down and we're low on essential nutrients, essential amino acids, we're not rebuilding our collagen well, the first thing we'll do is skim from our connective tissues, and that's our hair, skin, and our nails. And this is such a common sign of the overall aging degeneration process. So it's an important thing unto itself. We want to project ourselves well in the world and look good and feel confident about ourselves, but it's also a big sign of our overall health and our body's ability to repair. In treating thyroid disease, this has come up very commonly as a large complaint, and it can be happening for a lot of non-hormonal, non-thyroid reasons, but many of them ultimately are nutritional. I have been aware of many products on the market that are aimed at treating hair thinning, and the vast majority of them are just copies of other products, and the vast majority don't really have enough ingredients in them to work and be effective. There's a common thing that takes place in supplement manufacturing, I call cosmetic labeling, where the manufacturers get a sense on what are the nice ingredients, and they'll have enough of those ingredients in there to put them on the label. It's kind of like when Brad Pitt's hand is in a movie for 5 minutes and he's on the billboard. They didn't have to pay him that much because he didn't spend much time in there, but it was enough to put him on the title. And that's how a lot of products are made. They just use a tiny enough amount of a good ingredient to put it on the prime billing, but it may not be enough to make a big difference. I've been trained in conventional medicine, naturopathic medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, Chinese medicine, nutritional biochemistry in good detail, and I've tied all these elements together to make this formula. There was an old legend about a sage, a shaman, and he was an old wise man, an old holy man who was about to pass on. He was aware of that, and he wanted to go deep in the countryside to become in a state of meditative pose and prepare to leave this world peacefully and easily. And as he was out there minding his own business, the story was that the king's entourage, the king's family, some servants, the king's daughter, happened to be passing through this countryside, and the king's daughter inadvertently bumped into this old holy man. Well, the orderlies were aware of this, and the rule was the king's daughter could only touch one man in the course of her life, and that man had to marry her, had to be her husband. So he was told about this dilemma, and he said, "This is crazy. I'm an ascetic. I'm about to pass on, and this is not really my lot." And they said, "Well, no, rules are rules. You've got to marry the king's daughter." So he went deeper in the forest and spoke to the gods and asked them how he could get out of this dilemma. And he was given a formula, and the formula contained numerous rejuvenative plants, and he was told how to put those plants together. And legend had it that he made a concoction based upon this mixture and consumed nothing but that for 30 days. came out of the forest with a brand new thick head of dark hair and a brand new set of teeth. He was completely rejuvenated. And legend had it, he married the king's daughter, made a wonderful husband, and a great ruler eventually for many, many years. So some of the ingredients I've used in that are from this old formula. And current evidence has shown that they are very rich in antioxidants, they're very high in cofactors that our body needs for synthesizing collagen. Our connective tissues are kind of like braids, kind of like steel-belted radials. We take amino acids and we make them into long chains, and then we put those chains into larger subunits, just like braids. And the braids themselves are braided again, so it's many levels of complexity. And there's numerous chemical reactions that are involved with that require adequate amounts of the amino acids, adequate nutritional cofactors for the binding to occur, and then agents to minimize any oxidative stress or damage taking place with the whole reactions. And the factor 4 formulas are containing all of those key ingredients in good therapeutic doses. We also put quite a bit of time into making this palatable. That's such a huge factor with products. The limitations are such to where if you really have enough of these ingredients to work, it won't fit in a one-a-day pill. There's simple space constraints. So we made this into a very palatable powdered form that's easy to mix into any beverage and make a good daily drink out of. And the main purpose of this was to help encourage hair growth and hair regeneration. But as I mentioned before, that's kind of a common chemical pathway to a lot of our body's key functions. Many users have been reporting a lot of good side benefits in terms of nails getting healthier, skin improving, less pain from exercise, quicker recovery rates. And those things are all perfectly expected because we understand that the common chemical pathways for one of those reactions is the same for all of the others. There's not really a big difference. So as your hair gets healthier, the rest of your body does too. It's a wonderful side benefit. So this formula is completely unique in the marketplace, and that's something you can't say too much anymore these days. Again, there are many, many hair products that are out there. We've looked at the vast majority of them, and nothing is remotely close as far as the actual milligrams of key ingredients. I would really urge you all to take a look yourselves, pull up some ingredient lists online and compare side by side. Many have a few of the things that Factor 4 has, but none have the full amounts. The whole Factor 4 concept comes about from the fact that a lot of products contain a few vitamins. Some products may have a couple of minerals. I've seen some products that are herbal, and I've seen some products that have some key amino acids. Well, we get the need for all of those, and we've tied all of them in together into a single product, and there's nothing that has that on the market today. Amino acids are the main building blocks. Those are what we actually make our hair, our connective tissues out of, and we've got the building blocks in effective doses. Minerals are key components allowing those building blocks to come together to form those cross-linked fibrils that we need to form collagen synthesis. We're dependent upon several minerals for that. Zinc is commonly known and talked about. There's many others needed with it. We have all of them in this formula at the key doses. Vitamins are needed for allowing an enzyme to bind up some of those amino acids and make the initial chains. They're present in this. And along with those key things the body needs, there's been good solid data about many plant medicines encouraging the activity of the hair follicles, helping them grow more healthy, helping them generate more good hair on a long-term basis. And we've added in those herbal medicines in therapeutic doses as well. The formula, it's supporting several aspects of this. We're encouraging hair growth by containing the key elements your body needs to actually create hair in the first place. We need adequate amounts of properly conjugated lysine and proline bound together. And they're amino acids that are essential, and very commonly modern diets can be lacking in them, or we consume them in forms that our body can't properly break down. Our formula contains high amounts of both of those in an active free form, pharmaceutically pure amino acids that require no digestion, no assimilation, so they're easy to take in. Hair loss is generally a function of the buildup of negative versions of testosterone. Our body needs testosterone, but there's byproducts of it that can be harmful for us. And we've included good doses of zinc. We've also included Emblica officinalis, which both have the role of blocking the formation of some of these bad types of testosterone that cause early hair loss for both men and women. We've also had many report acne improve from using this formula. Acne itself is occurring when the secretions from the sebaceous glands are too thick and they become blocked, and bacteria start to create pockets, small little abscesses. This formula contains Polygonum multiflorum, which has been very well documented to thin the secretions around the oil of the skin, making the skin healthier and less oily and less apt to have blockages occur in the first place. The formula also has good doses of biotin. and also equisetum, which raise the immune function, helping the skin fight off the bacteria that cause the infections.